Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we will learn English through the incredible story of a man whose name has become a symbol of genius. His name is Albert Einstein. He was not only a scientist, but also a dreamer, a thinker, and a human being who changed the way we understand the universe. His journey was full of struggles, surprises, and discoveries. And through his story, you will not only learn about English, but also about life itself. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in the city of Ulm, in Germany. His family was not rich or famous. His father, Hermann Einstein, ran a small business that sold electrical equipment. His mother, Pauline, was a woman who loved music and cared deeply for her children. When Albert was born, no one could have imagined that this little baby would one day change science forever. As a child, Albert was slow to speak. His parents worried about him. He often sat quietly, lost in his own world of thoughts. But when he finally began to talk, he asked endless questions. He wanted to know how things worked, why the sky was blue, why the compass needle always pointed north. Even as a boy, he was not satisfied with simple answers. He wanted to go deeper. One day, when Albert was about 5 years old, his father showed him a compass. The tiny needle moved inside the glass box, always pointing in the same direction. Albert was amazed. He could not see what made the needle move. There were no strings, no hands pushing it. He asked, "Why does it do that?" That little compass awakened something powerful in his mind. It showed him that unseen forces shaped the world. Later, he would call that moment one of the most important experiences of his childhood. Albert loved to learn, but he did not enjoy school. The classrooms in Germany were strict. Teachers wanted students to memorize facts and repeat them without question. But Albert wanted to ask why. He wanted to think differently. Some teachers thought he was lazy. One teacher even told him, "You will never amount to anything." These words hurt him deeply, but they also pushed him to prove himself. Outside of school, Albert found joy in music. His mother taught him the violin. He would play for hours, and the sound gave him comfort. Music became his companion throughout his life. It was more than a hobby. For Albert, music and science were connected. He once said, "The theory of relativity occurred to me by intuition, and music is the driving force behind this intuition." In his heart, equations and melodies were part of the same universe. When Albert was a teenager, his family faced financial problems. They moved from Germany to Italy, hoping for better opportunities. Albert stayed behind for a short time to finish school. But soon, he too left. He felt trapped in the German education system and wanted freedom. At only 16 years old, he traveled alone to Switzerland. There, he enrolled in a school that was more open to creative thinking. In Switzerland, Albert began to shine. He was not the best student in every subject, but he was brilliant in mathematics and physics. He could solve complex problems with ease. Yet, even here, he struggled with authority. Some professors did not like his independent spirit. He was different. He did not follow the path they expected. After finishing his studies, Albert hoped to become a professor, but no university wanted to hire him. He sent applications everywhere. No one replied. His family worried. What would happen to this young man with so many ideas? Finally, a friend helped him get a job at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. At the patent office, Albert's job was to review inventions. Every day, he read about machines, engines, and electrical devices. It was not the career he had dreamed of, but it gave him something precious: time to think. While other workers followed routine, Albert used his free hours to imagine the universe. He thought about light, motion, time, and space. And then something extraordinary happened. In 1905, Albert Einstein published 4 scientific papers that changed physics forever. He was only 26 years old. Scientists later called this his annus mirabilis, or miracle year. In one paper, he explained the photoelectric effect, showing that light can behave like tiny particles called quanta. This idea later helped create quantum theory. In another paper, he explained Brownian motion, proving that atoms and molecules are real, not just imaginary. In yet another, he introduced the special theory of relativity. He showed that time and space are not separate, but connected. And in his final paper, he gave the most famous equation in history: E equals mc squared. This simple equation revealed that energy and mass are 2 forms of the same thing. A tiny amount of matter could be turned into an enormous amount of energy. At first, many scientists did not believe him. His ideas were too bold, too strange. But slowly, the world began to realize that Einstein was right. Albert became famous almost overnight. His theories spread across Europe. Newspapers wrote about him. People wanted to meet this man with wild hair and sparkling eyes. But fame did not change him. He still walked to work in simple clothes. He still loved to play the violin. And he still questioned everything. In 1915, after years of work, Einstein introduced his general theory of relativity. This theory went even further. It showed that gravity is not just a force pulling objects together. Instead, gravity is the bending of space and time itself. Massive objects, like the sun, curve the fabric of the universe, and planets move along these curves. It was a completely new way of seeing reality. At first, people doubted him again. But in 1919, during a solar eclipse, scientists tested his theory. They observed starlight bending around the sun, exactly as Einstein had predicted. The newspapers announced, "Revolution in Science. New Theory of the Universe." Einstein triumphed.